That's up to you.
Behind you!
Did he just catch a rocket?
He got a rocket.
What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts unsolicited, nobody cares, and you ain't supposed to care. And I am back. It took me a minute, but I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Now let's get down to it. First of all, I missed everybody. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm back. I ain't going nowhere. I'm back. Anyways, let's get down to it. I'm going to talk to you today about Black Adam. All right, now, Black Adam is a film that came out a couple of months ago. I think it came out in like October, I believe, when it got released, starring Dwayne Johnson as the title character, Black Adam, which is part of the DC book of heroes. And Black Adam first came to, I think, prominence as the arch enemy of Shazam. So he's part of that whole Shazam world. Now the thing about Black Adam is it kind of sets him apart from a lot of heroes when it comes to comic books. Is that he's more of an anti-hero. He is a villain slash hero. And there are some incarnations where he's a bad guy, he's fighting Shazam. There's other incarnations where he is more leaning towards the side of truth, justice, and the American way. Dwayne Johnson slash The Rock has been attached to the Black Adam franchise for a long time. According to reports, it took anywhere from 10 to 15 years to finally get this project up and running, which is kind of shocking to me since Dwayne Johnson is one of the biggest movie stars in the world. You think he can just snap his fingers and get any movie done. But it took him a while to get Black Adam done. And my initial impressions of the film was that it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It's not the greatest superhero movie of all time, not the greatest DC movie of all time. But I was entertained by it. I enjoyed it a bit. There were some flaws that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but overall, I was pleased enough with the film to watch it twice. I bought it, so I have it part of my streaming collection, and it went down pretty smooth. That being said, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my thoughts about Black Adam, then I'm going to get the hell up out of here. So we'll start from the motherfucking beginning. All right. So the thing about the film, it opens with the I'm not gonna say montage, but pretty much, I guess it's pretty much a cold open to open the story up, kind of give you some backstory in the origin of Black Adam before it jumps into the main plot. And the movie starts off really slow. Not so much from the terms of the visuals, but the way that the opening of the story was presented just doesn't really draw you in, especially if you're somebody who's not really familiar with the Black Adam story. It left a little bit to be desired. It really did. Anyways, the story opens with a brief backstory in regards to how Black Adam came to be Black Adam, things of that nature. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but suffice it to say, this open, which was kind of lengthy, it can leave some people kind of dry and kind of get you off on the wrong foot. Now, when you're opening up a film like this with a new character that hadn't been seen in the movies before, it's not that highly. Black Adam's not that well known, I guess, to the layperson. If you're really into comic books and things of that nature, then Black Adam is part of your lexicon. But if you're just a normal person, just Joe Willie coming off the street to catch the film, whatever, you might be taken aback a little bit by it. And I don't think it was really necessary to do it the way that the filmmaker did it. So it did leave, kind of a sour taste in my mouth. But once again, That's neither here nor there. We'll jump a little bit further into the story. All right, so the film opens, and I guess maybe 10 to 15 minutes in, that's when we get a chance to meet Black Adam for the first time. There's a team of characters. I don't know. I really don't know what their agenda is. Really don't care. They're kind of like outlaws who are searching for a MacGuffin, and that takes them to a cave in the desert. Now, it is set in the fictional town of or city of Kandak, which is if you want to give it some sort of a geographic region, you would think it's somewhere in the Middle East. And so the entire story takes place in Kandak, and these mercenaries or these whoever the hell they are, they're supposed to be the good guys. They're the protagonists. I'll call them the protagonists, who wind up in this cave searching for this MacGuffin. They find the MacGuffin, and in the process, they awaken Black Adam, who has been on a slumber for like 1 billion years. And he awakens, and all of the hijinks begin from there. There's a lot of killing going on. Now, one of the things about Black Adam being an anti-hero, he does kill. And one of the things I did like about the film is that they did allow him to kill, because in superhero movies, you generally especially with the main character, you want to show the main character in a positive light, so you don't want to show him as murdering people. He's straight up murdering folks, and that might rub some people the wrong way. It didn't rub me the wrong way at all. I was fine with it. But the opening sequence, the introduction of Black Adam, is pretty spectacular. It's decently well done. It's your generic superhero stuff, flying and throwing shit and getting shot and catching bullets, some slow motion, things of that nature. Seen it 1,000,000 times. It's been done to death, whatever. But it's part of a superhero movie. You got to see stuff getting destroyed and blown up and people getting tossed and all this kind of stuff. So, big deal. Now, let me back up a little bit. There's a character that's introduced before we meet Black Adam, and it's a kid. And I'm going to just be frank. I hate kids in movies, especially movies like this, because they're there for one reason and one reason only: to be saved by the hero. And they do stuff that's nonsensical, and they are very annoying. And I always find myself hoping that the kid gets killed. And that's how I felt about this. I think the kid in this movie really is an albatross to the whole fucking film. And they should have done a better job of creating someone that we'd be sympathetic for and someone that we want to be protected, not this spoiled brat of a kid. So that being said, getting back into the story, Black Adam makes it do what it do, and he's doing some destruction and killing folks and things of that nature. And somehow the Justice Society of America gets wind of this. Now, the Justice Society of America, is not the Justice League. I guess they're like offshoot of the Justice League, and whatever. But anyway, they consist of Hawkman, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and Dr. Fate. So it's just the 4 of them who are dispatched to Kandak to kind of see what's going on, put a stop to Black Adam, and get him under control. And that is basically the plot of the story. And it goes down pretty smooth, like I say. The Justice League, I knew I was going to do that. The Justice Society, they hop on their supersonic jet plane or whatever that is like stored underground at Hawkman's house. Hawkman is a billionaire. He's kind of like Tony Stark or whatever. And they fly over there and they fight Black Adam and destroy stuff. Nobody gets killed because this is a superhero movie. So as far as from the Justice Society versus Black Adam, all you're doing is just tossing each other through buildings and cars and all that kind of stuff. And Atom Smasher, he's kind of like Ant-Man, where he's small and he's 40 feet tall or 90 feet tall, whatever the hell it is. Cyclone, she's just that. She's wind and tornadoes and all that kind of stuff, kind of like Storm. And Dr. Fate, he's more like a wizard, so he's more like in the vein of Doctor Strange. And of course, you got Hawkman, who is just that. He's a Hawkman. He kind of reminds me a little bit, I guess, of the Falcon, but obviously he's not. The Falcon's not invincible, whereas Hawkman is pretty much invincible. He's a superhero, whatever. Anyways, they fight. They join forces. Then the real antagonist is introduced, I guess, about halfway through the movie, you'll find out who the actual antagonist is, and they're all just trying to obtain this MacGuffin and reach their objectives, and the movie ends. Goes down pretty smooth, like I said. Now, as far as the performances goes, the biggest thing about this film, the biggest plus about this film is the performance of Dwayne Johnson. You can tell he's really committed to the film. He really put in work in this film. You can tell he really wanted this to work. He really wanted this to be a kind of a jump off point, or origin story that's going to kind of trigger the rest of the DCEU. And he really does put in an effort, and I do appreciate that. And he is the best thing about the film. Pretty much when it comes to the acting, his acting obviously is head and shoulders above everybody else's. Dr. Fate is pretty good. His character is pretty good. Hawkman, I can take him or leave him. He was kind of annoying. You know, he kept just saying the same shit all over and over again. Stop killing people, or I'll stop you. And he never does stop him. So because he's really no match for Black Adam. I already told you about the kid that I fucking hated. Adam Smasher, he was kind of like a dumbass. Didn't like him. Cyclone, she barely had anything to do. So they really didn't add anything to the film. And the antagonist of this film is straight up whack. Didn't feel much for the antagonist. Never felt like he was a real threat to anybody, other than the fact that he was just there. So, but overall, like I said, just the pacing of the story and the action sequences were passable. The performance of Dwayne Johnson really sets it apart, and just the overall aesthetic of the film is really well made as far as from a technical standpoint. I like the cinematography. I could do away with there's a little bit too much slow motion. Kind of start feeling like a Zack Snyder film, like a knockoff Zack Snyder film. It was a little bit annoying, but but it's not a deal breaker. But if they could have cut out maybe 2 or 3 sequences with the constant slow motion, it would not have hurt the film. Actually, probably would have made it just a little bit better. Now, the film has grossed so far, I think, close to $400 million worldwide, which is well below projections. I guess they were hoping the film would make anywhere from $600 to $700 million, so it could at least break even, or turn a profit. So it turns out that the film, according to the experts, that the film is going to lose money for DC Studios, for Warner Brothers, and there's talk that they probably will not follow up and do a Black Adam sequel, even though The Rock was all for Dwayne Johnson stated he was all for turning this into a franchise and doing multiple films and crossing over and things of that nature into the Shazam world and into the extended DCEU. Obviously, as we all know, Superman, Henry Cavill, shows up in a post-credit scene, and they got everybody excited for a minute before then they turned around and fired Henry Cavill from DC. So that whole excitement on him returning as the Man of Steel got shot down with the quickness. So there's just a lot of mess around Black Adam. So that being said, do I think you should see it? Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 5.5, just barely over the halfway point there. So I do recommend it, but don't buy it, rent it, and get it on your streaming service. If you're on if you are HBO Max subscriber, it's there now, so you can shoot over to HBO Max and give it a watch and everything, and it goes down smooth. Like I said, it's about 2 hours long, and it's after that opening sequence, which really kind of drags, the film goes down pretty smooth. It's a pretty brisk pace. It's all set once again in Kahndaq, which I think kind of takes away from the aesthetic of the film a little bit. I would like to have seen a little bit more locations, but that's not a deal breaker either. I think it's just it's a film that you'll forget it 15 minutes after you watch it, but during those 15 minutes that during the 2 hours that you did watch it, you'll come away with some feel good, not a total feel good, but some feel good. So those are my thoughts, my quick thoughts about Black Adam. What do you think? Have you seen Black Adam? What do you think about Dwayne Johnson being part of the DCEU? Do you think it should be part of the extended universe? I think it should. I think the film is good enough to where, even though it didn't make the kind of money it wanted to make, that the introduction of the character and the whole potential of the Black Adam character is strong enough to integrate him into the DCEU. Maybe not any more standalone Black Adam films, but bring him into the fold as part of the Shazam universe, because the Shazam film is coming out, I think, next year. Fury of the Gods, I think it's coming out next summer or next spring. And of course, Black Adam is Shazam's arch nemesis, so we can get those two to fighting and everything, and once again integrate him into the larger DCEU at some point as well. So if nothing else, I would like to see Dwayne Johnson, because he is a big star and he does bring in fans. I would love to see him as an extended part of the DCEU, but we'll see what happens there as well. But overall, I do give the film a passing score. I'm okay with it. What do you think? Have you seen Black Adam? What do you think about the performances? Am I off base? Am I spot on? What you think about Black Adam killing all these folks that he killed? Do you think it was a little bit too violent, that we don't need to see any superhero killing people, but are actually trying to save people? Me personally, I could give a fuck. I just want to be entertained. But that's just me. Anyways, hit me up, whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. I'm back better than ever. I know it's been a long hiatus. A lot of things have happened in my life since the last time we got together, but everything is back on track and I'm good to go. So you'll start seeing more of a presence for me on the channel. I got a lot of nice guests that's going to be joining me, and I think the new format, the new aesthetic of the show is going to bring some pleasure to whatever it is that you measure. So anyways, damn it, hit me up. Let me know what you think about Black Adam, because damn it, you just heard what Lonzo thinks. Bye, damn it, and I'm back.